Hello everybody, my name is Zerman and welcome to Kerbal Space Program. Now this is actually going to be a shorter video than usual, and it's just going to involve the launch of a nice little ship that I happened to design fairly quickly. And load in, thank you. Here she is, the mighty Apollo rocket. Beautiful. And if you've noticed, this is the two-stage lander from the stock parts provided by the devs themselves on top. I thought, it's good enough for the devs, it's good enough for me. I know it works, I've used it before in various different silly playings arounds, so let's get this thing launched. Takes a little while to load it in, just because it's over 150 parts. That's fine. Okay. Gilbald and Tomzone, are you ready? Liftoff! We have liftoff!
This is, Gilbald Kerman. Gilbald Kerman to main base. Main base, we have liftoff. Apollo rocket is go. Engines are go. We have liftoff. I repeat, Apollo rocket has liftoff.
So, I originally had this as one just long fuel tank feeding into one mainsail engine. I divided that into two sections of mainsail just because I thought it would be more efficient instead of carrying two gigantic empty tanks all the way up through Earth's atmosphere into orbit and whatever else. And no, I'm not going to make you suffer and sit through the entire launching of this rocket. I just want to prove to you the fact that it does fly. Because it's fairly shambly the way it's put together, but it does fly, I swear upon this. Go, little rocket, go! Okay. Ooh, okay. Okay. Ooh. Okay, can we calm it down a bit so I could readjust this? Thank you. There we go. Okay, now we can fire them back up. Excellent. So it looks incredibly shambly. You see the canards just going insane. Gilbald here is kind of freaking out. Tomzone seems fine. Our little perfect square of cabling going on here. Nice little docking port that we can connect to our floating probe station around the moon. And yeah, I will meet you guys here soon in orbit. So I just want to poke in as engines roar in my ears, and we're slowly starting to make a very high orbit around the planet Kerbal. Just look at this. Just look at that. Beautiful. These are 5 nuclear engines. We have 2 360 tanks on it. Just carrying our 2 Kerbals up into space. It's not the fastest thing ever. And I think it's probably more fuel than I would possibly need. But we are slowly working our way towards orbit. I just wanted to show that if you ever want to try and design a ship like this, it does work. In fact, I was actually surprised. I didn't expect the nuclear engines to work initially. I thought I was going to have to switch them with a more powerful type of engine, but I'm very happy because I know the fuel efficiency I get off these engines will be more than enough to carry me to the moon and to my destination. So once we get full orbit, I will be back with you guys. Okay, guys. We have 245,000 meter apoapsis and 112,000 meter periapsis. It's not the finest balanced of all orbits. It's like 91, 92 degrees, but close enough. It's close enough. So anyway, we're just going to warp around until we see that moon. Up. Okay. That may have been a bit excessive. But if I start firing now, I should start working my way out there. If everyone I've ever listened to about Kerbal Space Program is halfway right. So fire up all the 5 main engines. Let's just zoom on out. Apoapsis is starting to flip around. Periapsis is starting to flip around. There's the moon. Apoapsis is gaining. And gaining quite quickly. So just angle our ship down a bit more. Still at 90 degrees. Yeah, looks like we might pass under the moon a little bit. Maybe. No. We'll be a little bit off just because of the angling, but it's fine. It should be just fine. So yeah, we're just going to slowly burn our way out there. And once we catch the moon, we're going to catch this thing, the probe savior. And once we catch the probe savior, we're going to dock onto it. It's going to be our main base of operations, and the ship we're going to go back to once we leave the moon's surface. Thus why there's both docking ports on it and our little lander. And we're going to try and go in. We're going to land our first Kerbals onto the moon. But not just that. We're not just going to land our Kerbals onto the moon. We're going to go in and we're going to repair our drone. We leave no one behind, dang it. So I will catch up to you guys in a little bit once we have our moon intercept. Okay, that didn't take all that long, to be honest. We have our nice little moon intercept. Looks like we're going to be passing by pretty closely. I think we can actually burn it a little bit closer, to be honest. Just try burning that periaps closer. Just not too close, though. Yes. 700,000 some's not bad. 600. Yeah, I don't think we should go any crazier than that. 600,000. And F5 here, just in case of horrible things happening. And we will start warping our way out there. How much time until encounter? 5 hours. Okay. Let's warp out a little. Ooh, little bit of lag there. That's fine. Start getting out there a little bit faster. You can see the moon coming up on us. We are getting very close to our intercept here. And intercept. Okay. So we want to try and go to the periapsis. So that's an hour and 44 minutes away. There we go. Okay, so we're about 10 minutes off periaps. That's fine because we have plenty of fuel. We have extremely efficient engines. We're going to have more than enough fuel to do what we need to do. And then some, to be honest. This is actually not that bad of a planetary lander. Just because it has so much fuel, we could probably go jump across to another planet like Duna or Eve. Not sure, I might have to experiment with that once or twice, just to see if I can. So, get this lined up. It's a little bit of an unwieldy craft. And fire the rockets. You can see our predicted orbit shifting around here. And even though we're burning ourselves slower, we're getting a larger and larger and larger orbit. That's just because of the severity of how the moon's bending us Just see, we're bending so far around the moon, we have this gigantic orbit. It's very good if you want to slingshot your way around the place with minimal amount of fuel. Yep, oh, okay. I wasn't hardly paying attention. So yeah, 500,000, this is at 1.5 million. Yeah, it's actually not that bad. So let's go to our Periapps, which is an hour away. Get fairly close, figure out which way's up. Wrong way, of course it is. And I know there's going to have to be some corrections in the orbit in various different amounts, but that's fine. It's fine. It's just the slight errors in the ship roaming around on its own. But that's fine. It's nothing too big to worry about, to be honest. Okay, we might need to do some plane adjustment, but I'll do that later. So not bad. Not bad. So, I did say this was going to be a shorter episode, and I meant it. So, next time, I will be doing this plane adjustment off camera. And we will be hooked up with our probe savior as well off camera. We'll possibly need to fuel it back up, depending on what I think we might have to do, just because of having to undock from this longer part of our rocket. Just depends on how much fuel we use and various different factors. But next time we will be making our full-on Apollo landing. So until then, guys, I've been the Zero Man, and you have been fabulous.